Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Hi, how's it going? Welcome back again today to this cold-hearted stream thingy thing. Hey, how's it going? We are back today doing some more cold-hearted chats. We missed last week. I forgot. I typed up a whole message saying how I was skipping stream last week because of some scheduling issues that happened, and also I was tired. But I didn't realize till like Wednesday that I never sent that, so my bad. But anyway, we have Yabnob here. How's it going, Yabnob?
Ah!
There we are. How you doing? Oh, wow. Exciting. Interesting. Crazy. How's that going for you? So, here we have the humble Yoshinam dying on my stream live, and we're selling tickets, everybody. Hey, Sleepy Shadows. Hi, Hidden Treaty. How's it going, Yellow Ring?
Hello.
Hey, welcome in. Welcome in.
Yeah.
Oh God. So, such profound words from Yoshi. He's a wordsmith. That's why I brought him in here.
It's true. I got an English degree.
That's true.
That's not true.
That's not true at all.
That's not
Gamer
true.
_Grego. Thank you for the follow. Hello. How's
I had
it
you
going?
going for a second though. Then
I was like, wait, you couldn't graduate.
you talking about? I could do it if I tried.
Yosh maybe come here? Well, that was a mistake. I'm sorry.
That is a mistake. You shouldn't have listened to me.
Never,
Your mistake was listening to me.
Listen to Yosh. Okay. So, Yoshinab, we're gonna start this stream off with a little bit of a react here. We don't normally we build up. We have some nice chill conversations to get and everything. With you, I feel like it's best to just get right to this.
Okay.
You got it on screen, right?
Yes, I see a bunch of raccoons.
Yeah. So this, everyone, is Pom Poko, a Studio Ghibli movie made by the guy who's not Miyazaki, Takahiro. He's the guy, the same director as Grave of the Fireflies.
Garden of Banban.
No. Grave of the Fireflies. The same director.
Okay.
He also directed Pom Poko. The voice is also high. Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay.
These are a bunch of tanuki, and their habitat's about to be destroyed by a construction company who's trying to build some high rises. Right.
Okay. So like every children's movie from like
exactly.
Okay.
And so instead of trying to save the rec center, they do this.
What? Hey! Don't! No!
This is a children's movie.
Oh my God! Oh, why you let me animate the name?
Are Tikis and raccoon dogs the same? Tenoshis and raccoon dogs? I don't know. Tanuki are what Tom Nook is. They're magic is the thing. They got magic powers. It's a lore accurate children's movie. It is lore accurate. That's correct. Tanuki are famous for having big balls and doing magic with them.
I was gonna say just like my Uncle Teddy, but I don't have an Uncle Teddy.
Oh, Teddy.
Uncle Teddy.
He's in prison now.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. So that's what's going on in this movie.
That's horrifying. Oh God, that man is. I don't like that they're whacking it with nightsticks. I don't like that they animated
their
them
balls
in such
are
a
a
way.
weapon.
I don't like. There's a lot not to like.
You didn't like that? Oh, I thought that was lovely.
It instilled fear.
Think you're like the Gokai counterparts of the raccoon dogs. Exactly. Yeah. So that's Pom Poko. Pom Poko is a ridiculous children's movie by Studio Ghibli. It's suitable for all children, except also they use their testicles as a weapon.
Okay. I'm just thinking about the fact that there's a Super Mario Brothers 3, Leaf,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I wonder if Mario has also done this.
Yep.
I wonder if that's why Mario chose the
Balls of
Tanuki.
furry, if you will. Yeah. No, but that's definitely a Mario thing. Like this is like in the hit game Smite, the Danzaburo, his he doesn't have ball powers, but like they have a reference to it, because he has like a sake jug, like two sake jugs, like right at his crotch, and it's to symbolize that he has like massive balls. Because this is the thing with Tanuki, it's how they get it's how their powers work. Pompoko is a really interesting anime, though.
That's also how my powers work.
It's a nice little film. Highly recommend it. It is really good.
Fun for the full family.
Yeah. Yosh, there's a Super Mario Odyssey speedrun called the Nipple Percent. What do you think about Nipple Percent, Yosh?
I think that is a very respectable run. It's kind of like Get Laid Percent in Breath of the Wild. It's also my favorite category, in which you just get to Paya as quick as possible. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that is a way to do it. So Yosh, it's been a little bit. I haven't been able to catch some of your streams. They have been really busy. So I do want to ask, Lava, what's it like? Dead and Alive?
That was a one. That one doesn't count.
So you want to talk about that? You want to discuss that?
No, I don't think we need to.
I think we should. So what do you feel about the jiggle physics? What's your in-depth lore on that? Does it live up to its jiggly expectations?
Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Scarlet is a video game released in the year 18 or something, and I have regretted life ever since. 19? I don't even know. I don't pay it. You think I know? You think I was there at GameStop?
Alive 3.
You think I was there like day one at GameStop being like, "Oh boy."
Is Dead or Alive 3?
Yep. Dead or Alive or Extreme with an X.
Extreme. Okay.
Wait, why am I telling you?
Okay. Thank you. 2016.
Came out
just after the inauguration of Donald Trump. How do you feel about that? Do you think Donald Trump is playing this in the White House?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone was playing this in the White House. Barron lived there, so.
I can explain.
Can you? Because I don't think you can.
You ever think of have you ever thought like, oh, it would be a great stream, and like you think about watching that stream and be like, that's so funny,
right?
But then you realize that you're the streamer and you could do that, and so you do it because it's a great idea.
Yeah.
But then you realize you're the one who has to do it. That was that. It was a sub goal. I didn't think we were gonna hit, and then we did, and I've regretted it ever since.
People will throw money to embarrass you.
Yeah.
Yosh,
it was fun.
Yeah, I think you've probably seen this this masterpiece from our good friend Kore Kourouchi. But I do want to get your thoughts right now on stream. How do you feel about the fall of Yosh?
I think this depicts an event that you could tell that this is a work of fiction because I have never fallen.
Oh, I see.
And I will never fall.
I thought you were going to say it's a work of fiction because you almost got those abs. Look at that. They're working. They're almost popping out.
Working on it. Christ.
Y'all talking about volleyball? Oh, we're always talking about volleyball. Schadenfreude is a real thing, especially with YouTubers. It is. He fell off, maybe. Oh, that's so true. Anyway,
I didn't fall off anything.
So Yoshinam, we have a little bit of a discussion here. So back when there was a tragic incident and we had to reschedule because this was originally supposed to happen a bit ago. I informed everyone that there was a tragic horse-related incident. Would you like to recount? Yeah, there's a horse-related accident. That's why you had to reschedule on me suddenly. So, what do you want to tell everyone about this horse-related incident?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it turns out Bojangles had to go to the vet.
Okay. Okay.
It was, it, it was just like a regular Tuesday afternoon.
Okay.
Something was just wrong with Bojangles. So we took
Was
him
it
to
that
the vet.
was it that you rode Bojangles off of a cliff again? Was that the problem?
That was probably unrelated. Because when I found him a week later on that Tuesday morning, he wasn't moving.
Okay.
Out at the bottom of said cliff.
Okay.
It wasn't my fault.
Sure, it wasn't.
I'm sure it was a completely different reason that Bojangles was not moving.
Of course.
Then we took him to the vet, and the vet said, "What the fuck?" I think that was the only thing he said.
Now, I had heard that there was something that had led to your death. That had been the rumor, at least.
My death?
Yeah. Did you respawn, or did you... What happened?
Oh, who doesn't need a little respawn every now and then? I always say.
In front of the children? Come on now, Yoshinobu. Anyway, all right.
Just a little refresh, respawn, little shed ourselves of our mortal coil every now and then.
How mortal is the coil, in your estimation?
A little too coily, if anything.
Little too coily. I see. I wouldn't be surprised if Yoshi actually named a horse Bojangles. I feel like he would.
He definitely would. You know what? Yeah. I don't think I could.
Why not?
I don't think I could name a horse Bojangles anymore.
Because people will report you for animal cruelty?
Yes. Because then I would be like, Bojangles died last afternoon. Anyway.
Oh, God.
I couldn't make Bojangles jokes anymore because I would...
You get sad.
Weird. Also, horses are expensive.
Horses are expensive. My family briefly owned a horse twice. We were watching it for somebody else, basically, because we had a huge field. Horses are crazy.
They are. I own one for a significant portion of my life.
A
couple of them.
Yeah. It's weird. It's really weird. It's really weird to just like... That's one of the things that like is just like strange about like living in that I've lived in the city for so long now. Like it's weird to like think I can like when I go back home, it's like, oh, there's just people just got horses and cows all over the place. And like I used to be normal to me, and now it's like, oh, it's
Hey, you just got a horse ride around. You go on the trail, the dusty trail.
Oh, the dusty trails. It's like when you jump off a mountain in Minecraft, so you don't have to walk all the way back to the base. Yeah, you just reset. Yeah. That's exactly what happens. Reset.
That's exactly what happens. Sometimes you get a little tired of walking all that way.
All right, so I do want to have a little brief conversation here. We'll try to stick away from spoilers as much as possible since it's fairly new. But yesterday, and you that I believe the day before, went to go see Godzilla Minus One. Now, Godzilla Minus One is the new Godzilla movie, Japanese Godzilla movie.
Yes.
For all of you who aren't into the Hollywood version of Godzilla. But this new Godzilla movie is out right now. It's in theaters, I think, on a limited run.
It is
very fun movie. What was your thoughts? What's your thoughts first?
Go fuck yourself. Go see it. Best movie of the year.
Yeah, is that your favorite movie of the year? What else have you seen in theaters this year? Actually? Oh, you like it more than Spider-Man? Damn.
Genuinely, I have a lot of thoughts to say about it. But look, all right, look, hear me out. Look,
baby girl Godzilla.
Actually, you know what? Side note.
Yeah.
When it comes to like kaiju and like that sort of like side of like fan stuff, like with like giant monsters and Godzilla.
Yeah.
I feel like most people I meet who are massive, like absolutely massive kaiju fans are all women.
Yeah, that is something. I
know their demographic.
Yeah. God, I was on the edge of my seat whether or not my favorite characters were gonna make it. It was a really fun movie. So this one, this Godzilla, as opposed to like, why would it block Wamen? Anyway.
Oh, I know why. You know why?
Why?
It was because. Did you hear about the very controversial thing that Wario said on Twitter.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, we don't talk about Wario here. No drama. No
Yeah,
drama. No
yeah,
drama. It's a drama-free zone. Okay, we're not talking
yeah.
about it.
Wario said some very controversial things this past week. I don't know if any of you guys are aware.
I'm just saying, Waluigi would never. So let's move on.
Yeah, Wario also tried to do like a ukulele apology. It was really awkward.
Remember that time Wario bought Twitter? What the fuck was that about?
God. Yeah, I don't even know.
Oh, K-Bar, Carbohydrates, how you doing? Can't believe Wario would do that. I could not believe it either.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, this Godzilla movie, unlike most of the Godzilla movies, really puts a lot of time into its human characters.
Yes.
And a lot less time into Godzilla. Bong. How's it going, Ghost Dad?
It reminded me a lot of the very original Godzilla movie, which I had the honor of seeing the Criterion Collection version of, which is like the properly subtitled, like.
Yeah. I saw the fucked up one where they had like the American scientist.
Oh, like the American Telecaster being like, oh my god! Actually, they had a scene in Godzilla -1 where there was a bunch of Telecasters on a roof talking about what Godzilla was doing, and it reminded me of that American version. I almost wondered if it was referenced.
It felt like it could be. It did, but like this Godzilla movie did absolutely feel like a call, like what would be it wasn't a remake of the original Godzilla, but it was definitely like a retelling or like a reimagining of the original Godzilla.
It was almost like a
definitely not procrastinating
in a way, almost like a retheming.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. If the original Godzilla was about like the atomic bomb in World War II, this one was about post-war Japan and just how fucking miserable it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought that was really interesting. I haven't seen a lot of movies cover that. Well, like a lot of disaster movies, Godzilla, like 54 and Shin Godzilla, are centered around the humans. A lot of Godzilla movies are centered on humans too, but these are nearly as engaging. Well, that's the problem. Is like they have human characters, but I don't think any other Godzilla movies, like even 54. Like, I haven't seen the legit version, but Shin Godzilla I've seen recently. I love Shin Godzilla. But it's not really focused on its human characters. It's focused on the human
like human
plot.
Group, the human. Yeah.
This is not really focused on like a main character who you're supposed to like really latch on to their story. As opposed
Shin Godzilla was still very good.
Shin Godzilla is amazing. Like you should watch Shin Godzilla. Of course, you haven't seen it, but like it is. They have different goals. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Like that one was very like, hey, this is like modern Japan and people getting together and stuff like that. This was very much about post-war Japan. A lot of the citizens felt betrayed by their government, kind of thing, abandoned to take care of this issue on their own.
I think one of the other key things, like Shin Godzilla is like very focused on Shin Godzilla is very focused on the politics of how like a Godzilla attack would work, how disaster works, and how it affects specifically the Japanese government, and how slow to action they are, how bureaucratic they are, and how there can be a lot of issues with that. So like that bureaucracy and those meetings and all that stuff, it's a commentary on what's been going on. Yeah, but specifically about Fukushima. Yeah. And also it's a commentary on American interference and dominance over Japan in a lot of ways. But yeah. But and then Godzilla -1 does have a little bit of the American stuff in it because, of course, I mean, it's under Japan was under American occupation at the time. Pretty sure it was still occupied. But yeah.
The whole justification for them not getting involved was just like they don't want to escalate the brand new Cold War they have with Russia now.
Yeah. They don't want to escalate the presence in Japan, but like they are the American government is in Japan,
which is
or military is in Japan.
Which I took as like a direct thing is like there was definitely some support needed to Japan after the war that America did not provide because of the exact same reason.
So the actual politics of what happened in Japan after World War II is a lot more messier. Is
Yeah.
very
Oh,
messy.
it's very messy.
It's very
very,
messy.
very messy.
How we basically allowed a lot of the people who were running Japan before to come back and take power instead of. It's very interesting how like in the Western theater, the European theater, there's the Nuremberg trials to kill a lot of the fascists, you know, and then to like execute them. And then on the Japan side of things here, we're just like, oh, here's power again. I don't know, whatever. You can't have a military, but you can run your government. So not great. Was not great. Anyway, but yeah,
you know.
I do.
You know.
I know.
Actually, two things. If you do want to find the 54 Godzilla, legitimately just look up like Criterion Collection Godzilla 54. It's specifically the Criterion Collection version. It was the one where they like it did like the exact actual cut of the film that was originally made, just English subtitled properly.
There we go.
Yeah.
Out of stock.
Damn.
Well, this is for the Showa era films. Okay. But yeah, you go to the Criterion Collection. Criterion Collection has a lot of good movies, and they're always really good quality.
Yeah, they do a good job.
They do a really good job because they always get the they try to get it as OG as possible to preserve it. OG films and stuff. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you know something I did say. I was surprised by. I was surprised by the kind of the themes they delved into. I guess I just wasn't expecting that in a Godzilla film. But for like the message to be the value of the individual human life.
Yeah.
And how that was like kind of tossed away during the, all of that.
Japan's dehumanization of the individual. During...
The idea of God, yeah. Just a kamikaze pilot as a concept is, oh god.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of problems, but yeah. My biggest nitpick of -1 is the last 10 to 30 seconds of the movie. I don't like the sequel bait. I thought that was a callback to the original because I think they did that in the original too.
They do. I feel like that's all like every Godzilla. Godzilla does that.
I like that because that was a callback. Because I think that was a.
I highly doubt there is going to be a sequel. Yeah. I just feel like that's just the way they feel like they have to end Godzillas all the time, just as like a little Godzilla thing. It's like it's Godzilla.
It's defeat the evil is defeated for now, but not forever.
Yeah, but actually, I was gently surprised at how much they went into because the main dude was a failed kamikaze pilot. A lot of the stuff he did, all of that was actually pretty historically accurate. Like the idea of like someone saying, yeah, my plane didn't work. I came back. Apparently that was very common.
Yeah.
Very, very common. And
I mean,
near the end of the war, they kind of started to accept, like they wouldn't punish that immediately because they were so low on pilots. They would
what
train.
Else are you gonna do?
Yeah, they would train a pilot and just enough to like crash. And they started to run out of planes. They started to run out of pilots. But eventually, if you did that too many times, they would not be very happy with you.
Yeah, I mean, there's one of the big two things. One, Yellowing, I'm not going to answer that because I don't want to get into actual spoilers. I can be vague about stuff, but I'm not going to get into anything or discussing it. But the other thing is that a lot of the kamikaze pilots, there's like a myth that it was like that people volunteered for that. Some people did, but like most people were like either like prisoners or like they threatened to like kill their families or something, or just like POWs, forced Korean labor, they did a lot. They threw a lot of Koreans in those planes.
Yep. Strong armed, anything they could.
Yeah. It was very I think one of the most interesting movies to watch for like World War II, like because since we're talking about World War II, Japan, one of the most interesting things is Letters to Iwo Jima. Have you ever seen that?
I may have read the book that was based on it a long time ago.
Letters to Iwo Jima is a really good war movie. that is focused on there's Flags of Our Fathers, which is a Clint Eastwood movie, and then Letters to Iwo Jima, which is also Clint Eastwood. But
that book, Flags of Our Fathers.
So Flags of Our Fathers is the American perspective, and Letters to Iwo Jima is the Japanese perspective of the same battle. Which I never watched Flags of Our Fathers because I didn't really care that much. Letters to Iwo Jima was really, really interesting. Most of the movie is Japanese, of course, but it is a very detailed and accurate perspective of what the kind of what's the best way to put it, sacrificial mindset that they had. And I don't know, it's a fucked up movie. Don't go into it. This is
it ain't gonna be happy.
No, this is the tone of Saving Private Ryan's beach scene, but for most of the movie. So don't go into it expecting something happy or fun. You will be traumatized. But it's a really interesting movie, at least for that part of things, because it's a really, I think it's a good depiction and understanding of what goes into a lot of the mindset of people and characters in Godzilla -1. And I think it's having that kind of post-war recovery, post-war idealism, and I think also some of the aspects of Tokyo, parts of Tokyo being finally feeling like they're getting back to normal when another disaster hits. I think you feel everything so much more. It's just a really fucking good movie.
Yeah.
Surprising.
It genuinely, Godzilla -1 is probably my favorite film this year.
It's one of my favorites. I loved it. I love the design of Godzilla as well. He's very stiff. I feel like at the end.
Yeah. He's like a man in a suit.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to, no spoilers about it, but I like that he progressed into being like that. At the beginning, he wasn't, and then it progressed into him being more stiff.
Oh, I will say there's a whole pretty lengthy sequence at near-ish the beginning that I really liked because it was basically just Jaws, and I was like, I like this. It's done really well. It's just Jaws but Godzilla.
There's so many good sequences. Very, very, very interesting way to deal with Godzilla. There's stuff that feels like Jurassic Park. There's stuff that feels like Jaws. And it's just really, really well done. Speaking of, though, I actually want to talk about something we briefly discussed before stream. But I recently watched a video from...
You did? You watched a video?
I know. Crazy, I know.
You're not supposed to do that.
Who could have known?
Funding for Schaefer Illis is provided by...
There we go.
Funding for Schaefer Illis. Funding for Schaefer...
There we go. Funding for Schaefer Illis. Okay. Corridor Digital got sponsored by Godzilla -1. The director says the water simulations are about 50 terabytes of animation. That makes sense.
Oh my god. Oh, by the way, the special effects were actually really nice.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is people will talk about how they made this movie on such a tight budget, and I'm like, okay, well, there's a few things. One, they pay anyone in the entertainment industry in Japan dirt cheap. You don't make a whole lot of money there, as opposed to America. Oka, thank you for the raid. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. We're talking about Godzilla. But yeah, the reason Godzilla -1 was made so cheaply is, one, you can underpay people like crazy in Japan, and two, and this is important, if you actually pay attention to a lot of the sets, they're very bare bones. They're very, very bare bones. And there's a lot of it looks great. It looks great where it needs to look great, but you do notice if you're looking at it, you will notice where the clear corners were cut, But yeah. Thank you, Oka. I appreciate it. How you doing, Oka? Did you have a fun stream?
Oka, bring.
I think I've gotten two news to nodding because I just started typing out the shout out command on instinct. Modding. People in Japanese entertainment industry make money? No. A lot of sets and scenes were heavily green screened. Yeah, they you could feel it. It's like the same problem that like a lot of the Star Wars shows have, except Andor, where like a lot of them feel like they have like this. They have like the whole crazy screen room, like with they got these high fidelity LCD screens, so they look. Like people are actually like looking at the environments that they're projecting right while they're doing it. The problem with it is that a lot of scenes in those in those shows feel really small, like they're just a hallway.
Yeah, it really does. I almost feel like you could tell, and I thought they did a pretty good job with this, but like the scenes where like the the dude's at home with like the his little like family thing, like everything there is like shot very like tight. Like they don't really leave that like one or two areas, where it's just the inside of that house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't it feels really confined in a lot of places, which works. It works for just
it does.
fine.
I think they worked with it.
I'm not criticizing it for doing that. I'm just pointing out to people because the only reason I mention that is because I see a lot of people being like, well, why don't American movies do this? Why don't Hollywood movies do this? I'm like, well, there are corners that are being cut that you may not notice, but I think a lot of audience, like, in different contexts and in different movies, you would. Like,
and also the VFX industry in the U.S. is just reflected in all kinds of very special, different, unfortunate ways. It's kind of hard to do anything right now, or get paid, or just VFX is weird.
VFX is that space is really rough right now.
It's a very rough space.
Yeah.
I imagine the Corridor Digital guys would probably have an interesting, like, take on it.
Yeah.
Because that's all they do.
Hey, someone was filming a single room because of the budget. VFX needs more unions. They do need more unions. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot that can be done with small budgets. Like, there's a lot of great small budget movies. I'm a huge fan of the Evil Dead series. You know,
yeah, I'm a small budget movie.
Sure you are. But you know, the only point, the point I'm trying to make is that just because you can make a movie on the cheap in one country doesn't mean that works in America. And because America has actually has unions to protect a lot of the writers and actors and all that such, so they get the money they deserve and that they earn. Because when you make things on a small budget, it means a lot less money is going to the actual people making the movie. Is one of the other corners that are being cut there.
Yep.
So anyway, but I want to talk about this Schaeferless movie. It is 2.5 hours long. But he did a ranking of every Steven Spielberg movie, and I want to get your thoughts on a few different rankings here.
Wait, it's 2.5 hours?
The video is 2.5 hours, yes, but we're not watching the whole video. I'm gonna jump to a few places. So let me find it here.
He's spieling up on my berg.
Why are they spieling on the berg? Why do you think that's happening?
I don't know. I was really concerned when they did, but I guess it just kind of happened.
So actually, here's one thing I want to get your opinion on here, because we're mainly just gonna be talking about Indiana Jones.
I love Indiana. Sorry.
That's why I want to talk about it, because I know you'll have thoughts. What rank your favorites without Dial of Destiny, because that's obviously the last, right?
My favorite without Dial of Destiny.
We're gonna throw Dial of Destiny out and not talk about it because I haven't seen it and it's not a Spielberg movie.
Okay. Well, my absolute favorite, I'm sure, is not a surprise to a lot of people. I love The Last Crusade. I love Harrison Ford and Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Together. That was just a fantastic movie. My second favorite is probably the original one. It's really close to the first one. My third favorite is Temple of Doom. I still think the Temple of Doom is a really fun, good movie, but I just,
There's the racism.
And also you could tell that, this is a fun fact I learned later.
Yeah.
Let's just say Spielberg and George Lucas were both in a very specific mindset, as in they were both fresh out of a divorce.
Yeah.
And you
could tell in the writing.
You kind of tell in the writing.
Yeah.
A little bit by how much they make this poor woman scream. It's very, I don't know.
I love George, but he was going through it.
Yeah. Oh, they were going through it together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Spielberg got a wife out of this one, out of that one also, so that was good for him.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't think it's a terrible movie by any means.
No.
I just think it's the weaker one.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
It's also I think I only watched Crystal Skull like once, and I don't really remember it actually.
Really? I only watched Crystal Skull once.
Maybe a couple times. It was a weird one. I didn't find it as endearing as the other ones.
Yeah, Crystal Skull is a weird one. I don't think anyone will blame me on that.
Yep.
Here. I want to get to some controversial rankings. So Spielberg has like 30 something movies, 36 movies. Number 18, they ranked Jaws. Have you seen Jaws?
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean 18?
They ranked 18th on the list. Jaws. So like
out of 30?
With one being the best, 30 something being the worst. Number 18 is Jaws.
You mean the movie that single-handedly like created the summer blockbuster?
Yeah.
And,
No, we're only talking about feature films. Yellow Rank.
Yo, Columbo, number 1. Columbo episode number 1.
What do you think about Jaws being ranked 18th of Spielberg's movies?
Look, even without all of the accolades, that movie's too good. I wouldn't put it anywhere like below even 5. I don't know. I wouldn't put it as low as 18.
No.
The only time I would put it as low as 18 is if I really wanted to seem like I knew what I was talking about.
If you
Does that make sense?
If you're trying to be hoity-toity.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, everyone has their opinions. Maybe that's actually, he's like, hey, maybe it's like not as good as some other stuff. That's a fair opinion. It's just I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all.
Yeah, like we're not talking about Columbo. Anyway, no, I don't. I
think they should have had Columbo in Jaws. That may have increased its rank to maybe a 17.
Columbo v Shark episode.
Yeah.
Jaws 2.
He would have solved the mystery.
To solve the mystery of the shark.
Anyway, it's a shark.
I think what the interesting thing for me is I watched this, and their reasoning behind it was mainly that they didn't like the back half of the movie where the guys are on the boat hunting for Jaws.
What? That's the best part.
I know. That is the best part.
I was actually going to ask you like what his reasoning was, but no, I
couldn't believe it.
High intensity. I don't know.
The boys out on a fishing trip hunting for a giant killer shark. How can you not love that?
I love that. That's like you know that meme about like male loneliness.
Yeah.
That's all males really need. we all just need to get on a boat together and hunt a shark, hunt a Moby Dick. You know what I mean? That was like the Moby Dick. That was like the I don't know. You gotta fucking embrace tradition. Hunt for a giant animal of some sort with the bros. Exactly. Either that or reenact the plot of Metal Gear Solid 5. Start a military never mind. I was going to say the whole plot of Metal Gear Solid 5, but we don't have time for that.
All right. So, the other one that I'm going to get into here is, let's see. They number, where do they put this?
Well, just one more thing, Mr. Jaws. You said you were in New Jersey? Funny that. I want this edit. I really want this edit, actually. Columbo solves Jaws.
Why?
Yeah.
They would be Columboing. All right, hold on. So they ranked. They have their Tintin movie, right? I never saw that Tintin movie. You see Tintin?
I heard pretty good things about it, actually. I heard it was pretty underrated, and I've always kind of wanted to see it because everything I see about it seems pretty.
There's some clips from
cool.
it that look pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That I do think would be fun, but I never got it. Okay, yeah, number 12, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Number 12?
Right, out of Steven Spielberg's movies, number 12 is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay, I gotta ask, is E.T. it anywhere near like that 11 onward?
No, E.T.'s way lower. E.T.'s below
Really?
Jaws.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen E.T., but I was just asking.
No, I think that's a fair rating because I'm not the biggest fan of E.T. either.
I'm not either, but like, well, I mean, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. I guess I wanted to get a vibe for the list.
Yeah. So let's see. Above this here we have like Terminal, is I think 11, and The Post is number 10, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then stuff like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, The Fableman,
Close
AI,
Encounters of the
which
Third
I
Kind
think is a
really good.
nutso rating to put AI, artificial intelligence, at 6. I know you haven't seen it, but I've seen AI. I've seen it a few times. Movie sucks. I'm sorry. It's just bad. It's boring as hell. It's about a little it's basically like Pinocchio except in the future, and he's a robot. He wants to be a real boy.
Spielberg does like those movies.
Yeah. Well, it's like it was a what's his face? It was a Kubrick movie. And then after Kubrick died, Spielberg finished it for him.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a co project between the two of them basically. The best part in ET is the Universal ride. That's saying something because it sucks. Treaty. One of the issues is that AI is a Kubrick script, but Spielberg didn't know how to direct Kubrick. I don't even think it's that. I just think it sucks.
E.T., go home. No one wants you here.
Oh God. They also, so they put Raiders at 12, which I think is
that's
lunacy, but okay.
I'm super biased. Don't get me wrong. I'm super biased.
Of course, we're
Raiders of the Lost Ark is a perfect movie.
To me, Treaty. Yeah, no, it is
perfect.
Like,
I love it so much.
Their criticism was that there wasn't enough characterization of Indiana Jones, which I think would ruin.
That's the one that has the most.
Raiders of the Lost Ark?
It's not very much. Or, sorry, Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant Crusade.
Last Crusade's rated higher.
Okay.
Yeah. They rank Last Crusade like number 3 is Last Crusade. Which is, that's a good movie. I like Last Crusade a lot. I think it's criminal to put Raiders of the Lost Ark this low though.
It is criminal. And while I will like on like the surface be like, okay, I can understand your criticism of like, oh, there's not enough characterizations, but to me, Indiana Jones is far more characterized by his actions than it ever was by like, him waxing poetic.
Yeah.
Or telling his backstory. Yeah. And it's entirely because of the type of action movie hero he was. And he wasn't like a lot of other action hero movies. It was like him stumbling around trying to figure things out. And I think it said a lot about him.
Yeah, I think so too. Like I think you get a lot of his characterization, definitely through his actions, like you're saying,
The way he reacts to things. It's a very smart way, like, he's very likable.
One of the best character moments is the accident that they had where he just shoots a guy.
Yeah, he just shoots. It says a lot about him. It basically is just Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
it comes out a lot, but he's like, I don't know. It's great. Also, just little things like you could tell he's still kind of immature. He's like he just hates snakes. He deals with shit. I don't know. I love it.
I think there's enough characterization for what the goal of this movie is, and I don't think adding character moment like more like characterization of Indiana Jones would have helped the movie. That's why I was saying it was a mistake.
Yeah, not only was he sick, but like apparently half the entire like
everyone was tired. They're just like fuck it.
Yeah, I think it was like food poisoning, like ravaged like a lot of people working on set that day.
Yep,
Ford himself included, because of a bad like caterer.
I can imagine if you have food out and you're in a hot environment like that and the food's out, there's a high likelihood it'll spoil.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah,
but I love that moment.
But like, I don't know. It just it feels like a really, like they bring it up. They mention that that Raiders has the best climax ever. But like The ending of Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of the best endings of any action movie ever. Like,
it's pretty fucking sick.
At least that I've ever seen, because it's so fucking off the wall. And you're like, what the fuck?
It's wild. It is wild.
It's crazy, and I love it.
Me too.
Yeah, very different ending. I don't know. I think it's I think it's whack, but whatever. Their number 2 and their number 1 are predictably. Number 1 is Schindler's List. Number 2 is Saving Private Ryan, which is I think is fair. I actually don't think I would put Schindler's List as one. Schindler's List is a really good movie. I don't feel like, if we're talking about just films, it's his best film. I think.
Fun fact: I actually haven't seen Schindler's List.
Schindler's List is, I think it's a movie you should watch. There's a lot of parts that are hard about it, but like it's a really good, interesting, fascinating movie.
I've done film studies on it.
Yeah,
I've just never watched it.
You've done film studies on it, but you haven't watched it. Interesting.
Yeah. My brief stint into film school had a lot of not movie watching, merely studying, and then just going over things that I already knew about, and that kind of soured it a bit.
Yeah. It's good. It's always what I've been worried about with doing a kind of course like that. It's like I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, it was rough, but
but anyway, so the I don't know. Yeah. What do you think? What is your favorite Spielberg movie?
Last Crusade.
Last Crusade? Okay, yeah.
Last Crusade.
Yeah.
It's like one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time.
It's very good.
It's hard not to say that one.
Very good. I think if I was gonna rank like my favorite Spielberg movie, I think Jurassic Park would be his best movie, to be honest. Which I can't believe he made. Jurassic Park is like 4 or 5, I think. 4.
Yeah, makes sense.
4. Yeah, it's 4.
I have a lot of respect for Jurassic Park. I just never got as into it as everyone else.
See, I think it's one of those movies that's like, I think every part of it is so just like well trimmed and like fits together so neatly, and he does so many clever things with it.
It's legitimately it absolutely deserves like the amount of love that it gets.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Although can I tell you my theory about it?
Sure,
tell you my theory about it. It's I always like when I tell people how I feel about Jurassic Park, I was like, these are great movies, but I always wonder, like I always think about it, and I'm like, what is the demographic here? Because this is basically a slasher movie for kids.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
I think that's great.
Just like gore porn for kids.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
For kids. That's not me like dissing it in any way. It's just
no.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I think about that, and I'm like, how did he pitch this? How did he get this off the ground?
God, I have no clue what happened there. But yeah, I am very I'm happy with it. I mean, I think they did a great job. I think it's one of the things that like I do love about like 90s movies is I felt like they feel in 80s movies and like 70s stuff. It feels like they just fucking just do whatever the fuck they want.
A little bit.
It's like, yeah, we're gonna fucking mentally scar children. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's why people get like up in arms about stuff today, and I'm like, no, man, we need more of it.
We need more.
Like Tarzan, the ending of Tarzan, Disney's Tarzan.
Oh yeah, I love that ending.
Oh my god, it's so fucked up.
It is fucked up, but I thought it was like a genuinely really cool choreographed fight in the vines, and like I know he gets fucking like I don't know.
For all of you who don't know, the ending of Tarzan has Tarzan fighting a British man. I believe he's British. Yeah, he's British.
Yeah, he's like a like your British poacher type.
Yeah.
Character.
And they're in these vines, like they're up in the trees in these vines, like and like the Heathcliff is the guy's name, right?
Yeah, he's a great character.
Yeah, he's like trying to slash at Tarzan, and like he's getting tangled up in the vines, and he's slashing at the vines, and then he's slashing at all of them until he doesn't realize that he's cut all the ones that were holding him up, except the ones that have like come around his neck, and he falls to the ground. And there's a lightning bolt that like a flash of lightning, and you see the on the tree like a shadow of his feet hanging because he hung himself.
He snapped his neck and hung himself. Yeah,
it's fucked up.
It is fucked up, but it's really cool. I thought it was really well done. I saw that as a kid, and for some reason I don't think it traumatized me. I was just like, whoa, whoa.
I really love what they did there. I didn't remember that till like I was working in children and like with children at IKEA, and like we played the movie, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I forgot that they fucking ended it like this.
Yeah.
I forgot they fucking hanged him.
It's always that context of like watching it later of like, oh wait, hold on, that was kind of fucked, wasn't it?
Yeah. Good shit though. Good shit.
Yeah.
It traumatized me too, but in retrospect, I can't believe they got away with it. Yeah, I mean that didn't traumatize me, but like having things in there that are fucked up, I think is good. You know.
We all need a little bit of that. Life's fucked up. We gotta sprinkle it in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that's the thing is like, you know, it's like all those fairy tales are fucked up, the Grimm fairy tales. There's a reason for that, you know. We gotta have the.
It's because Europeans are weird.
Also,
that's the reason.
Children are fucked up little monsters. They love that shit.
You kidding? You know how popular Five Nights at Freddy's is because it involves like scooping people.
Every child loves that. No.
Every child loves fucked up shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you.
Disney has some messed up deaths, avoiding having the protag kill the antagonist. They do.
Yeah, they'll do anything to make sure like the moral, the moral character stays moral. And which, you know, kind of makes sense.
They don't have blood on their hands.
They make, but it does come up with some really strange deaths. Yeah,
some dark shit. I love it. But yeah, I just want to talk about the list for a little bit there. Spielberg's an interesting director. I feel like I need to watch more of his movies. I like a lot more of his like lesser seen movies, and I haven't seen like a lot of his more recent ones. I need to see The Fableman. I hear that's really good.
I need to see a lot more of his actually very big movies because I'm realizing there are a lot I haven't seen, even if I don't really feel like it.
Have you seen
E.T.?
Have you seen Minority Report?
No, I haven't.
Okay, interesting. Because in this video, he makes a whole point about how Minority Report's like mega underrated and like no one talks about it. Which like for me, I'm like looking at like people talk about Minority Report. Minority Report's really popular. What? And now I'm thinking about
I've definitely heard of it.
Maybe it's not. Maybe I have a different perspective. I don't know. I just saw James Cameron's The Abyss, and that's a gruesome way to go. Yeah, I need to see that too. I haven't seen that. Like I said, I should watch The Post since it's about my local newspaper. The Abyss? Yeah, watch The Post. They go into the abyss. They're in the abyss. It's abyss time. Diving on in. Right. James Cameron's fucking crazy. I love him.
Yeah, he is.
You love a good director who's also a psycho, you know?
Yeah, there's plenty of those.
Anyway. All right, so moving on though, we're gonna move right on to some new topics here.
Indiana Jones: Dial of Destiny. I really like it.
I
really like that movie.
You like that movie?
I like that movie a lot.
I have heard terrible things from everybody.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Is it a bad movie?
No, I think it's worth watching. I think it's at least worth watching.
You're ruining your credibility. I'm just.
I know. I told you I'm biased when it comes to Dr. Jones.
This is not a way to judge any kind of movie, but I am interested to see. Hold on.
I will also say it doesn't have.
Oh, interesting.
What's his name? Which is actually part of the reason I didn't like Crystal Skull very much.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. I never liked him as an actor.
Yeah, I'm surprised it has a positive rating.
I am not. Like, look. It's. I need you to realize that it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. But I think it's very much in the spirit of like the fucking Ark of the Covenant head exploding shit. Does that make sense?
I understand what you're saying. Yes.
It's a wild, very fun movie if you have the time and you want to see Harrison Ford's beautiful, beautiful face, which I did.
Of course. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that face?
Yeah. And I do know Harrison Ford is very happy with the film as well. So there's that at least.
Yeah, as long as he's happy.
Yeah, that's all that matters to me.
And I'm sure he's loving the dump truck full of money. Anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but teasing around. James Mangold is a good director. I also heard the ending. The bottom falls out. I need to watch it anyways. James Mangold. Yeah. Actually, if we're gonna like talk about like, I have a history with James Mangold on my channel.
You guys fought in a bar?
That's right. That's how I started my YouTube channel.
Oh wow.
That's a lie, but also it's not really, because if you look up my first video, it is on the Wolverine.
Oh, makes sense.
Which is James Mangold. Only 106 views on that. Crazy. Anyway, but yeah, this movie sucked. It sucks so bad I had to do a video on it. Anyway.
Oh, was that the one where he's in Japan?
Yes.
Oh, that one's bad. Yeah, no, I watched that one.
It's so fucking bad. It also feels low-key racist.
it's very.
It feels like it's trying to be like, oh, we're being really respectful. I'm like, you're using every stereotype. Like, I get that these are in a lot of Japanese movies also, but like, every like stereotype, typical Japan thing was in it. It was.
It's a weird movie. Weird.
It's also just boring.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, watch the video. Don't watch the video. Do not watch that video. Anyway, watch this video. Hey, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Now on my review. Now on YouTube.com. Anyway.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so I wanted to also talk about Invincible. You watched Invincible recently, is that right?
Yes, I did, and I enjoyed it far more than I thought I would.
Have you watched any of have you watched the Adam Eve special?
No, I haven't. I have seen basically the 10 episodes that were in season 1, and that is all I've seen so far.
Okay.
But
okay.
I am sold, and I want to follow this series because it was really good.
Nice clip, Yellow Ring. But yeah, it's a really good series. I love Invincible. I've loved Invincible for a very, very long time. I started reading that comic back in high school. In fact, I want to take this time.
Gonna take time?
Yeah. Hold on.
You take that time. You see what happens.
I don't have all of them, but I got a good chunk. I've got one. This is shit. Okay, so like you can if you look at my collection, you'll be able to tell kind of what happened. Right? Is I got most of the early ones I read when I had like easy access to a library. Right? So I've got 1, 2, 9, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So, missing a few in the middle there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't, I'm not too familiar with the alphabet, but I think you're missing some numbers there.
Yeah, just a bit. But
a little bit.
It is a fascinating series. I love that. I love the comic so much. It goes some weird places.
You know what the biggest surprise for me was? And I don't know why I assumed this. Maybe just because the nature of other, like, adult animated stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever someone would talk about Invincible, I would hear about The Boys in the same breath, right?
Yeah, because they're made by the same students and they put on the same platform.
Put on the same platform, kind of I thought the same premise. Not the case.
No, not the case, no.
So, I think anytime someone talks about The Boys, I think I would just attribute that to Invincible too. So I thought this was gonna be like more parody.
Yeah.
I know The Boys isn't strictly parody, but like how do I put it?
More grim.
Is it grim? I mean, it is grim.
Yeah.
Mean spirited. What do you call it?
I think mean spirited would be a really good it would be a good thing, a good description of the boys.
Actually, you know what?
Cynical?
Shit. Cynical. Yes, that's the word. I thought Invincible was gonna be far more cynical, so I kind of put it off because, like, I love me some cynical stuff, but I don't.
It could be a drag. It could be a real drag.
It could be a drag after like a long watch.
Yeah. Especially with everything going on in the world, it's like, do I really want to watch some cynical, depressing bullshit?
It's like, yeah, I love cynical, depressing bullshit. Don't get me wrong, but time and place. But what surprised me when I watched Invincible, I was very surprised how sincere it was. Like, they were actually, I don't know, they were telling stories here. They were actually like, I don't know. I didn't think I would love Omni-Man as much as I did as a character.
They do a really good job of making their characters complex and interesting.
Yeah. They really do.
I don't know. I love a lot of things about Invincible. The one thing I think I'll start with this is my major problem with Invincible is the voice acting for some of the characters. Like Steven Yeun does a great job, of course.
He does.
And
that was him. It's like, oh, hello.
It's funny that he's in another Robert Kirkman show because he got his start on Walking Dead.
Yeah.
He got his break on Walking Dead, and then so he's great, as is Omni-Man, which is played by
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, yeah. J.K. Simmons is an incredible job, perfect job. And like there's a lot of actors in there that are good. Art voiced by Mark Hamill's nice. They got Clancy Brown in there a few times, which is always good to get Clancy Brown. He's got a great voice, but there's a lot of the casting that feels like it's like movie actor or like TV like actor like on screen actor kind of personalities. Seth Rogen.
Yep.
Yeah, that's part of it. There's also the guy who plays. What's his face? Rexplode.
Oh yeah. Who is he? I didn't recognize who he was.
He is John Mantzoukas. I never pronounce his last name. I'm sorry. I know him from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's in a lot of different things. He always plays like a crazy kind of manic personality. He's fun.
This guy.
He's a fun guy.
I've seen him in a lot of live action stuff.
I like him. He's fun in a lot of things. I think he's not a good voice actor. I don't think his talents, his like what makes him good, doesn't come through in voice acting. And I think a lot of his lines feel tonally a bit weird.
I can't say I was blown away by his performance.
Yeah, and that happens with a few like a bunch of other characters as well. I think I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but there's a lot of characters in there that just their vocal performance doesn't really match the character or the animation or the flow of what the conversation's going on, and like that's frustrating. And it was colored for me a little bit. Because after Invincible had come out, like a month or two later, Arcane came out, and Arcane was way more. Arcane, like I think Arcane delivered a lot more in the like, especially in the voice acting department. I think everything in there, I never had a moment in there where I was like, oh, that didn't feel right.
I've watched one episode.
You should watch more.
I will watch more.
Voice actors are better to do their training. Well, yeah, of course. That's what I'm getting at, The live action, using live action talent, which I know Amazon wants to do because it's more of a draw for people. Like, oh, I know that guy from a thing I saw, and people are more likely to have seen live action stuff, and you connect with people more than you connect with voices, like voice actors, right? Because voice actors are chameleons, and as opposed to like just seeing a person's face.
I just connected a couple dots here, and I wonder how much like stock should be put in this. But like I kind of I'm thinking of like the Amazon Prime experience of like it has IMDb built in, and it's like got this and that and like all kinds of trivia, to kind of make it like, oh, this is the de facto place you want to watch stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think it has something to do with like the need for like celebrity character actors? character
voices. I think that is a part of it.
I
think it's definitely something that, like, well, this is a good selling point for one of these features. I don't think that that's one of the things that was probably their push for that, but I know that I feel that they're more doing it as like, hey, look who we can land. We can get J.K. Simmons to be in this, and J.K. Simmons is a good voice actor. Is like J.K. Simmons can do both.
Yeah,
he's talented, but he's talented enough. But like Steven Yeun had some lines that felt off. Other characters, a lot of the other actors also had lines that felt off because like they aren't career voice actors, so their performances are always going to be a bit more. They're not going to match the energy. Simmons is a professional, so like that is what it is. Everyone else is a professional too, but like he's another level. That's what it is.
Yeah. This also goes back to the thing I always say about Chris Pratt, as much as it's annoying that he's in stuff.
Yeah.
I will always give it to him that he is a voice actor. I think he is a good voice actor.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the time the direction comes down to, now that he's super famous, be Chris Pratt. But I do think and believe that he does have the chops for it, and he proved it.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's been in a lot of, like, even before, like, there was Chris Pratt, exhaustion syndrome setting in. He did a lot of voice acting roles that made him famous,
Yeah.
Like,
his
role,
Lego movie is the biggest one I think of.
Exactly, yeah. Like, he does kill it on those, like, and he can do some really good effective line deliveries,
I think producers and investors love him because he is both a voice actor and also a big name celebrity that can slap on things, and now he's going to be in everything.
Yeah,
that's just how it is.
Which it has already led to the meme machine of exhaustion has only ramped up on that, but yeah.
He is the center of the Venn diagram.
Yeah, I mean, like it is interesting you have those actors who can play both fields really well, which is like one of the problems with a lot of Blue Sky had this problem a lot. Illumination has this problem constantly, and Disney's starting to have this problem more and more, and DreamWorks is the progenitor of this. But like this desire to always have voice actors and to sell a kids movie based off the actors that are in it, I think is always one of the worst moves.
I think it's been a move since like the early 2000s, the 90s.
Ever since Robin Williams was the genie. Ever since
I didn't think about it that way, but yeah.
There's a really good video essay by Lindsay Ellis on the Robin Williams and the genie, as the genie, and like how fucking asshole. But Robin Williams, when he got the role as a genie, he didn't allow Disney to use himself for the marketing and push it. Like, you can't make it like about me in your marketing. Like, you can't do that. Don't do that.
And they did anyway.
Yeah, they did in some ways, but like they also didn't in some other ways. Like they didn't sell the movie just off of him. And it worked. The movie was great, and him being in it was like a big part of it. But that's like that whole character is just built around him, and like part of the story is like built around his comedy and his style. And then like you have other, every other movie that comes after, you're just like plugging in popular actor even though they don't fit the role at all, And I would remember things like the early 2010s where like you would see commercials for a new movie coming out. Like a new Shrek movie, and like most of the trailers just like the big actors that are in this, and I'm like, I don't care what's the movie about.
Eddie Murphy,
Eddie Murphy, Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo is Scrat the Rat.
Oh my gosh, Over the Hedge was worse. It was probably one of the worst ones, worst offenders in this.
Yep.
God, I hate it. Anyway, now Hollywood is obsessed with only casting established megastars. Yeah, I think it's like a thing that happens, and like I get it. Like there's a fear of risk right now in the market, There has been for a very long time with movies, and the side effect of that is like they only want this. Like for big movies, because there's so much money put into it, it has to be like you have to have like things that are gonna make it a sure hit as much as possible.
Yep.
And the things that are gonna make it like a sure hit is gonna be like throw in Vin Diesel in here, throw Bruce Willis in there. You gotta get Steve Carell in there. You know, all these big popular actors you've seen before.
Gotta get that name. Gotta have the movie guy say the names. Say a bunch of names.
Yeah.
Have the movie guy say the names.
Maybe make smaller movies. That would be a good idea, but the problem is that we've actually come to a really big problem in the movie market, which is physical media is dead, and like buying films, like buying movies is dead, right? Which is a problem for a lot of movies, like those mid-range movies that you got in the 90s, because movies like, say, Scott Pilgrim actually is a pretty good example of this. Or like, because Scott Pilgrim came in at like the end of this, and like movies before that there's a lot of movies that would be box office flops, but their home video releases would make it up, right? Either through rentals, or through like, you know, just massive amounts of people just like being like word of mouth, like, oh, this movie's great, I'm gonna buy this movie. You're gonna get on VHS, DVD.
My mother said I was a box office flop.
Princess Bride, yeah, exactly. Yes, you definitely were. No.
You know, I've seen the statistics. It was pretty bad.
But your home video releases has really picked up, so you know.
Yeah. I think it got really popular on Tumblr.
Yoshi on Blu-ray.
Yeah, get me on Blu-ray.
You got popular on Reddit. You're a Reddit.
Reddit. Yeah, it was Reddit famous for a little bit. People were like, actually, the home released Yosh stuff is pretty underrated.
Homebrew Yosh is really the primo shit. Anyway, no, but like home release stuff. Starring Columbo. Fuck you. Fuck off. Anyway,
really interesting that you're the pirate captain. Sorry.
You're the Dread Pirate Roberts, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, but
oh god.
It's this ridiculous it's the setting now where, because we don't have those kind of mid-range movies can't really sustain themselves without home video releases. So they can't really make up their money that they're not going to get in theaters. And theater prices are so high now that you can't make small movies. You can't even make like a smaller box office. You can't even make smaller box office movies a lot of times here, because like it's $15 to see a matinee. You know,
it's a very awkward situation right now.
It's rough. It's really rough. And it's like everything has got to be like a tentpole movie, but like those movies can be so fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
And so you get like a few of the other movies. You get a lot less. You get a lot less variety, which is sad. One of the movies. It is also sad when like really good movies flop in the box office, you know, and like.
Yeah, there's a lot of those over the past like 3 years, even 5
One
years.
actually that sticks in my mind. I guess the marketing kind of fucked it. Do you remember Cabin in the Woods?
Yes, that is actually a movie I watched, and it's really good.
Oh my god, I loved it because I remember we had I always got the local magazine, the Willamette Weekly, when I was in Portland. Like, it's an alt magazine, free magazine that's like everywhere. I would always get that and read it and like read the movie reviews. And the movie review I saw for Cabin in the Woods was like, it's Evil Dead 2 meets Rubber. And I'm like, fuck yes, sign me up.
That's quite the title.
Have you ever seen Rubber?
Yeah, I have.
Oh my gosh. I love Rubber. Rubber is the most ridiculous fucking movie. And then they make the entire movie just to chuck it for a tax break. Oh god, yes, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
A trip to is like a $40 fare per visit. Yeah, unless you get the subscription stuff, which like that's a good deal if there's a lot of movies coming out. But like nowadays, there's not even that many. There's not as many movies coming out in theaters, or hitting theaters. That like you also gotta like take a day, take a night. You know, it's always good to have someone to go with. You know, and like it's just there's a whole lot of stuff to it. You know, that can just be difficult. You know, the mechanics of it are a lot more difficult in our modern world, especially when the counterweight is, but that thing just has like thousands of movies on it like already, and I can just sit on my couch and just watch a whole bunch of stuff, or just watch anime, you know? Why not? I already pay for that stuff. Why not just watch that?
Oh yeah, did you hear anime is mainstream?
Yes, I have learned that to be the case, Yoshinam.
Yeah, it's mainstream. You're not cool in niche anymore.
It's weird. It is weird how ubiquitous anime is. I love it. Like I'm not gatekeeping. I love that shit. You know, more power to you. But like, you know, it is very strange. But what the actually that kind of gets me to another point. The worst habit of the anime community is that they're fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And children, they act like children, even when they're adults. The mentality and discussion around anime is so childish sometimes.
It is. You know, Connor. You know, Anya's, you know, a neat character in Spy X Family, but I really don't think she could beat Goku, so I think Spy X Family is bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I've been to a lot of anime conventions. I've been around the anime community a very long time, and the anime community can be very funny, silly, entertaining, engaging, creative, in ways that other communities just aren't, right? Like, if you go to an anime convention, I 100% guarantee it'll be more fun than any kind of Comic-Con you go to, right? I will take SakuraCon every single day of the week over Emerald City Comic-Con. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to. If I can go to an anime convention, I'm not going to go to a comic book convention because they're so boring in comparison. Anime conventions are so fucking fun. They're just fun, right? But they have a lot less social skills. Yes, and that's the problem, right? Is like you have
a little less filter.
Yeah, a lot. But like you have this issue where like you will talk about something. It's the Twitter problem, right? Where you're like someone says they like pancakes, and then someone will respond, "Oh, so you hate waffles?" I'm like, buddy, that's a whole different sentence.
So I love Jujutsu Kaisen. What, you hate Dragon Ball? Why do you hate Dragon Ball? I was like, I didn't say I hate Dragon Ball.
Are you saying the Demon Slayer is mid?
I mean, I am, but you know.
Oh wow.
I'm kidding. I have seen. I don't even remember what I've seen. Apparently, I didn't feel the need to keep watching it. I don't know.
Oh god, no, but it's crazy though. Like, I would get this problem a lot whenever I streamed on TikTok. Right, is people are just like, all right, presentation is what makes a show. I would get people who would just be like, oh, this show is mid, that show is garbage, this show is trash. You think this show is bad, but it has nice titties and I like it. It's a good anime. This anime, they'll be like, this is one of the bestest anime and it's my favorite anime and I loved it. And it's like the anime's high-rise invasion. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, you know, I notice that a lot. I do. There's like this weird lack of self-awareness. Like, it's okay to like your titty anime. Just you know, own up to it. Just own up to it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's okay for something that you like to be trash, but like, you know,
I love garbage. I eat it up.
I have videos on the garbage that I love, but like, you know, that doesn't define me as a person.
It does if your views don't align with mine. Then I will judge you harshly as a person.
Okay. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Yoshinam, I'm gonna.
What, you want me to hold down the fort?
I'm gonna have you.
Can I be trusted like that? I don't know.
Have you ever? I don't know if you've ever been entertaining on a stream before. So
no, I never have.
Rough for you.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna try. I'll try my best.
You man the castle. I'll be right back.
Okay. Chadley! Wait, no, not Chadley. Connorites. The Coldicepts. Troglodytes. Hi, everybody. My name's Yosh. You don't have to pretend your Booba anime is high art just to justify it. Exactly. You really don't. Also, buy yellow ring. And then there's the other side where people just don't like. They don't like something, and they try to come up with reasons for why it's bad or morally wrong or whatever, instead of just saying they don't like it. Yes, that's also very annoying. I imagine, kind of talking about like anime conventions. I imagine there's a lot of, I really like insert anime name here, and people are like, oh, you must condone horrible things. Like, nuance is a very hard thing to get in 140 characters a little bit, and I think that more and more applies as the internet's gotten more and more just glance at thing, read thing. I don't know. It gets complicated. Like, I can't talk about, I know this isn't anime, but I can't talk about saying I really like the Coffin of Andy and Lele without someone being like, oh, it discusses problematic things. And it's like, yeah. Yeah, did you like Schindler's fucking List? That's a problematic thing. No, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. That is an apples to oranges. Just got. Don't quote me on that one. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Purity culture is a curse. It is. I think we all need to grow up a little bit. I know that the term growing up is kind of not even a thing anymore. I don't think it's ever been a thing. The most childish people I've ever met have all been adults. But, See, look, now I'm rambling. See, this is why you don't put me in a room to discuss things, because I'm not good at anything. The only thing I'm good at is going, like, hee hee ha ha, and getting, like, eaten by monsters.
So true. No. You're good at discussions.
I once discussed.
That's right. No, but I will agree, like, purity culture is a drug that people cannot shake themselves of no matter how hard they try, and I hate it. It's why I had to use, like, I used a lot of cautious language when I did my Scott Pilgrim review to, like, clarify that Scott Pilgrim is not supposed to be the uwu best boy, no problems, not problematic. It
was kind of fun by, like, just people rediscovering. You're like, wait, hold on.
Scott Pilgrim dated a high schooler.
It's like, yeah, the point is that he's kind of a fucking tool, and then he gradually becomes less of a tool and has to own up to all of his horrible mistakes because he's made horrible mistakes.
I get so salty about the crap that dark media gets, especially in fandom, dear God. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no, it is like, I don't know. I'm planning on doing a video pretty soon on where, like, I'm gonna binge watch Goblin Slayer, and then I'm gonna do a video on that. And then I also kind of want to do.
Wait, what Slayer?
Goblin Slayer.
He's nuts.
Oh my God.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
You do this to me in my own home.
In your own home.
I invite you to my house, to my chill lounge, and you do this to me.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. Anyway.
And I'll do it again.
No, but I don't know. This is like weird thing where people can't be like, this character actually is a murderer, and I'm like, that's the point. That's
yeah,
complex and bad in a lot of ways.
This character is racist, and it's like,
the main character is a racist. I'm like, yes, he's the protagonist, not a hero.
The protagonist and the hero, two very different things.
Very, very different. Like Death Note, the protagonist is the villain.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's some wacko shit. It's one of those things that, like, I just really wish that I wish that people could have more nuanced conversations about topics and try to, like, see things from, like, an objective point of view. But, like, my most disliked video, and I have to harp on this because I'm annoyed about it. My most disliked video is when I shit talk Mushoku Tensei for being creepy, and I was light on it, right? I tempered a lot of my own opinions and be like, okay, maybe I don't want to be too harsh. I'm going to be a little lighter than I normally am. Then like the opinion I would give a friend, you know, is like isn't the same as what I put in a video, because like I kind of temper myself a little bit, you know, just so I don't like overdo it and like overstep, you know, because like if I go too hard, then I might say something that's not accurate, and I don't want to put that in a video. But I was still like, hey, this anime has a lot of great aspects to it, but it's very creepy and weird, and like I can see what it might be trying to do, but what it is doing is just participating in a culture of like.
Yeah, it's no Neon Genesis Evangelion.
No.
Is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's yeah.
I mean, that's a whole other.
Yeah, I mean that one, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Eva is a good example of this being done well, because like those 8 characters are all fucked up, you know, in a lot of ways. Yeah. Especially Shinji, he's so fucked up. Anyway,
I was able to pick up that they were like, you know, kind of pointing to like all of this weird like fetishization shit and be like, hey, isn't this is kind of fucked? Mm-hmm. I don't think I would pick that up with Shin Megami Tensei from your descriptions.
Not Shin Megami Tensei, Mushoku Tensei.
Sorry, no wait, no. Shin Megami Tensei is a video game series.
That's a very different, yeah.
Yeah.
I have not played a Shin Megami Tensei game.
I'm sorry, Shin Megami Tensei. You're great games.
Oh god, Mushoku Tensei is fucking crazy. Like this dude, there's so many fucking creepy aspects of it. Like when there's this like Dan Olson, Folding Ideas, who does a lot of amazing video essays that you probably have seen.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Great. One of his older videos that I absolutely love and has always been in my mind is called The Thermian Argument, which is based on Galaxy Quest. There are these aliens called Thermians who don't have lying in their culture, and so fiction is they don't understand what fiction is, and they think that the logic of fiction is real, right? And so when they watch in this movie, when they watch the show the show that these characters the movie Galaxy Quest is about a group of actors like who are like in a Star Trek like show, who are abducted by aliens who are like, we need the heroes of the universe to help us, and they're like, we're actors. Like, what the fuck is an actor?
Yeah. It's a good film.
Yeah. But yeah, so like the people will take the logic of the show and treat that like it's a justification for the writer putting that in their work, right? Not understanding that someone had to actually write this and like put it in the show, you know what I mean? It's so fucking stupid.
Like the shit isn't coming out of the grass.
They treat like Mushoku Tensei, like there's a lot of, like, there is those scenes where he's really creepy and perverted as a child. There's one scene where he is sneaking around his parents, he's sneaking around his house, listening to his parents do the stuff, and then also spies his teacher, who is an elf. So she's she's hundreds of years old, but also looks like a 13-year-old. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And she is also listening to the parents do it, while also satisfying themselves. So it's very like.
You're saying this was anime of the year for what last year? Is that what you're saying?
Unironically, yeah, it was an anime of the year for a lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And like, there's just like some levels of this that I'm just like, I cannot get past this kind of shit, right? There is literally, far into the series, there is literally a character who does the 1,000-year dragon trope, where they are like, they're like a first grader, right? And they're wearing basically like rags. It's fucking like ridiculous, right? And if you point that shit out to people, they'd be like, "Oh, you're being a prude. Oh, what are you doing? Why are you criticizing it?" No, the world is sexist because it's the medieval world, and because the world is sexist, it's okay that the characters are sexist because that's the world that they're in. You didn't have to make the world like that. You didn't have to. No one made you do that.
What made you make the world like that, man?
The fun thing about fantasy is that you can fantasize a world where you aren't shitty to women.
Mm-hmm. And you can write, you can absolutely put stories in this setting, and you can tackle these very uncomfortable topics. You can, but you gotta understand, you gotta address them. Like at some point, you gotta like, is this just a show that is it just an anthology of showing this world and what it's like, or are you trying to tell a story in it? Because if you're trying to tell a story in it, you're gonna have to address this stuff.
Yeah. I know some anti-tubers who totally justify stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of big ones that a lot of the biggest anti-YouTubers will justify that kind of stuff. And man, what are you doing? I'm sorry, there's a line, right? And that's just too far past the line, right? Mushoku Tensei season 1 ends. I'm gonna spoil this. I'm sorry. Don't watch it.
Oh no!
It ends with the main character, Rudius, sleeping with his cousin, and they're both 12. He is mentally in his 40s, but
This is the story of a girl.
And then in a kind of world. It was a conscious choice of the author to have a 1,000-year-old character who looks like a small child and then sexualize that child, or have a world that's horrible to blank, not for any social commentary, but just because. Yeah, like how Rising of the Shield Hero has slavery, because that's the best way for Nafumi, the main character, to trust people. Is that criticized at some deeper level? Not really.
Not really. I thought they were. I definitely thought they were, but apparently
I thought they would too.
I was rooting for that show. I liked it a lot, but I guess it never goes there.
There's a lot of interesting things about what is this, 1980 Hokkaido? There's a lot of interesting things about Rising of the Shield Hero. I like it. There's a lot of cool ways that it does things, and it feels like more of a Spice of Wolf type of fantasy that I really enjoy, where you get to understand the politics and nature of the world. But also at the same time, and even more so, and even more explicitly in later seasons, why are they just friends with the slave trader? Why are they participating in the system?
I'm noticing that a lot. Yeah, it seems to be the thing. I don't know. There's always these weird tropes.
Yeah.
I've been saying. It's just fantasy world gotta have the slavery. The slavery. Yep, they've gotta have that. Why? You know why.
Yeah,
it's a weird thing to see a lot, and it really that idea that anime is weird, and it doesn't help its case.
No,
it makes anime as a whole seem very immature.
Anime as a whole comes off so poorly because people justify this kind of stuff and don't openly criticize it and try to push it out of the community. And this stuff is frowned upon even in Japan also. This isn't just a thing Western culture. It's no, you're just fucking ignoring it. This is, I don't know. Or the number of anime women that totally have to be naked for plot reasons because, yeah, that's how her powers work. Totally not because the author wanted a hot booby girl character. It's for plot reasons. It's fine. Yeah, what was that character, Quiet from
Metal Gear Solid 5? Yeah. That was dumb.
Yeah.
And look,
she breathes through her skin.
If
Kojima, just be horny, man. It's fine.
It's okay. It's okay. I think he just is.
Yeah,
it's I get it. You want to write a world where everyone's sexy and stuff like that. Cool. It's just own up to it. Let's not pretend it isn't what it is.
Yeah,
that's fine.
No,
it could be that. You could have I get it. You got to have the eye candy the first episode in order to get people to pick up the book and then get invested in the plot. Apparently that's just how it all works there.
It's
weird.
It's fucking weird. I don't.
It's very weird. But I've now mentally checked out. Any weird shit that happens in the first 2 episodes, they just don't consider anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just okay, that's probably the only time it'll happen, and if it continues to happen, I probably drop it.
I hear, this is what I hear. I hear that Goblin Slayer is similar, where its first episode's really shocking, and then the rest of the episodes aren't really like that, right? I hear that's the case. I'm going to watch it to find out, and hopefully I'm going to be able to do a video and, you know, talk about that a little bit, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Sometimes I want to gently take some creators by the hand and say, please do something about your horny level before designing a female character. You would hope so, but they just don't.
Yeah.
One thing I'm going to say, so this is also like a thing. This is like just a thing in like Japanese media, you know, which is like you have to criticize it and like be honest about your perspective. I consume hentai. Most people do, but like one thing you'll see in a lot of hentai is like even in there is, first off, there's a whole lot of it that's really creepy and gets into like, there's a whole lot of like weird stuff, like forced stuff and like stuff that I'm not going to talk about. Gross shit. But like even like vanilla hentai, you know, like we'll have moments where like a character is saying, stop, no, don't do this, what are you doing? Or like where one character forces himself on the other, regardless of gender. This happens both ways because it's a fantasy, because it's someone's fantasy, and they'll have it happen both ways. But they'll have these situations, right? And it's just like every single, like it's just so pervasive in the entirety of the medium, where it's just like,
oh, I see.
It's just
yeah, you know, I think what Yellow Ring said about Japanese media not really doing a lot of introspection, I'm seeing that more and more. Yeah, there is media that does. There's great media that does, but it's just like the amount of stuff that just comes out of Japan, like the sheer number of it.
I mean, like when we look at that's a good point to raise up here. If we look at like let's look at the winter 2023.
It really just feel like for like every Godzilla -1, we have 25 revenge fantasy. Healer dropped off from Hero's Party gets revenge, and hot girl, slave girl. And it's just like without, I don't know.
Hot girl, slave girl.
You know.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's awful. I don't know.
So like you have like these upper tier anime, you know, but like you go down this list and it's just so, there's so much anime being put out there right now. There's so much product coming out, and like a lot of this is just bottom of the barrel shit, you know, and some of it's just like some truly abhorrent nonsense that people just get away with because like the audience is horny and they'll buy it.
I had a conversation with Yume, and I kind of started to realize like the manga to anime like production pipeline seems very, very short.
And it is these days, yeah.
Yeah, and it also,
which I think they justify more by having because they have they do seasonal stuff now instead of it being long running continuous. Yeah.
So it really just like there's so much. There's so much. And I think it's like kind of led to this thing of like almost make anything. Like I feel like the bar is just really low.
It is.
And so it kind of just like makes the entire medium seem really weird.
So like we'll have animes like this. This is one I actually want to bring up because this is probably the creepy one I know of from this season. When Isaki Senagaki was 5 years old, the death of her parents left her to be raised by her Yakuza boss grandfather, Tasuke. No, her grandfather Tasuke. Now preparing to enter high school, Isaku is determined to start fresh with an honest attempt at having a normal high school experience. All she wants to do is be able to make friends without being and find love without being
without being what? Without being what?
All she wants to do is make friends without being defined by her connection to the Yakuza. But Isaku's dream is thwarted by her overprotective caretaker, 26-year-old Keiya Yutoa. So she has just entered high school, and her love interest character is 26 years old and basically raised her.
Okay. Okay. Look,
why do this? Why?
Look, you could write shit like this. You can. But are you going are you going to address the elephant in the room, or is this just like is it for show? Is it for show? Like you're not actually going to address it, are you? You're doing this for like some weird kind of like fucking fetishy thing, and then you're just dipping, aren't you?
Remember? So do you remember when you got stuck in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Yes. So I went courageously, I should say. I went all the way from San Diego to Los Angeles to save young Yoshinam from the bus station. And on that drive, I went with Digimanda and Tiny Ghost, everyone's favorite. Everyone loves Gobi. You should watch Digimanda also. She's great. But on the way up, they were both telling me about Usagi Drop, which is this sweet anime about... Oh my god!
There's a storm.
Choco Box!
Choco Jocks! What?
Thank
you for the raid. I did not expect that.
So cold.
Wow. Thank you for the follow, Advent 128. Umbra _01_. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh.
How are you? Hi, Choco people. Choco people? Does Choco Jocks have a name for you guys?
Yeah,
or
what's the name?
Or is it still just degenerates? Or I think that's the one I came up with for you. All right, bye, Choco Jocks.
I'm buzzed. I have to pee. Bye. Good stream. Look, I have a name for them. Okay, we'll call them. We'll call them the Choco Psychos. Yeah. The Choco Jackers.
So cold.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The Choco Chatters.
Okay, let's go. Let's stick with that one. Let's stick with that one before
The
we
Choco Chatters. There we go. Degenerates is good.
Choco Chatters, Degenerates. It's all good. Okay, maybe not. You're right. Maybe Jackers is wrong.
I think Jackers has potential.
Yeah, it's like you guys are jacking into the net, right? Like
Quit jacking in for some net activity.
Yeah, like a hacker.
Cypress92, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I thank you. We were just talking about anime and some and how a lot of it is bad.
But there's also good anime.
There is also very good anime. There's also
that Godzilla -1 is really, 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 really good. Sorry, it's still on my mind.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's still on my mind too. It's a really good anime. Really good shit. I like it.
There you go. If you get anything from this, just know that Godzilla -1 is worth watching. Worth watching. There you go.
It is. Reminds me that I was really excited about the new Inuyasha stuff till it came out that Shishimura and Rin got together. Oh god, yeah, that was weird. To be honest, I've been waiting to make that pun for a while, but thought it was a bit too much.
It's okay. We'll unfortunately take the blame. We'll take that.
I will own this proudly.
You can own it proudly.
I do. Anyway, hello again. So I should introduce myself to y'all. Hi, my name is Connor. I run the channel Cold Hearted Complaints. I am an anime YouTuber, basically, kind of. I also did a vlog on my trip to India recently. But if you ever want to check out a video I did about Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, then you should watch the video or something. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything. But yeah. But thank you, Choco Jackson, the raid. Thank you, Adam. Hi. Which part's India? I went to Mumbai, where I have a friend who lives in Mumbai, and then after going to Mumbai for a couple days, I went up to Himachal, in the Indian Himalayas. Went to Dharamshala and Macleod, which is where there's the Tibetan government in exile. It was really fun. And then I went back to Mumbai for a few more days to spend more time with my friends, see a little bit more of Mumbai, and then we went home. But I was in Mumbai for like 10 days. It was a great time.
That is nice.
Yeah. Have you seen the vlog, Yosh?
I did.
Yeah.
It looked like a lot of fun.
It's driving in India is crazy because it's all vibes based. It's entirely vibes based.
It's all vibes.
It literally is. There's no laws, only vibes.
What's the vibe today? Cut this man off? Yeah, I guess so.
No, it's like people honk their horns constantly, but it's a way of communicating, basically. Just like being like, "Hey, I'm here. Hey, hey, move it away. Move it away. I'm here. I'm here." You know, you long honk to get people. You repeatedly honk. And, like all these different kind of honks have different messages, and you understand it naturally when you're like when you're there in it. You understand it. It's very interesting.
Oh, huh.
Very instinctual.
It sounds interesting and also horrifying, actually.
Yeah, the thing I was gonna follow that up with is I got in a car accident the first day, or our Uber did, but it was really minor, slow speed, but like it doesn't go as planned all the time, but for the most part it was fine.
Yeah. That makes sense. Also,
Yeah.
you know what? Someone brought up an interesting point that I'm actually really curious about.
Yeah.
What does -1 mean?
I don't know. Maybe let's look it up. Let's look it up. Godzilla -1.
Why did they -1 Godzilla?
What is the meaning of -1 Godzilla?
Who is John -1? Is the main character's name -1?
What does the -1 mean in Godzilla? Let's see. Let's all dive into this together.
I'm scared.
There's so many ads on this goddamn page. Oh god, I can't imagine driving them by. I never realized how spoiled we have been driving and not in I've been driving not in India and some other countries. Yeah. India.
We all think
India's crazy.
bad until we look at that.
Like the Rogue One of the OG Star Wars movie. Yeah. Let's see. After the phrase modified. This movie reveals a symbolic story where the phrase -1 foreshadows destruction, unfolding against the backdrop of Japan devastated by war. Is that really what it means? It's a foreshadow of destruction. The term -1 is used to represent the film's emotional story, showing how Godzilla returns and causes the destruction in Japan, which is already devastated by war. According to Vulture, the title symbolically puts Japan at 0 and then throws it to an even worse state of devastation at -1 with Godzilla appearing. Okay, that's interesting.
Probably, it might be, you know what, that kind of makes it sound like the kind of thing that's way more obvious if we were natural or
if we were Japanese
speakers. Yeah, it probably sounds like another word that I'm sure you know what I mean.
There's definitely there's probably we have ways of talking about the Great Depression in America and the Dust Bowl and all that stuff, that they probably have their own forms of that, their own forms of slang and lingo and different ways of
we had the
labeling
Roaring
a country
Twenties,
that's worse.
The -1.
The minus Japan at 0, having to rebuild from 0 again. Yeah. So that's -1's crazy. But anyway, we were talking about anime just in general, and the we were our discussion of the day was about how anime tries to get away too much with the creepier aspects of anime. So does anyone anyone in the class want to share some things you if anyone does watch anime?
Yeah, class.
What are some things that you find upsetting, or tropes or something that you'd would like to disappear? Creepier aspects.
Here's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You ever wanted to show your friend an anime that you thought was really good, but then you kind of forgot that in the first episode that really weird thing happens? You know that really weird thing?
Yeah,
that's supposed to be a hook to the Japanese audience, but just comes off as really weird to us.
Yeah. Panty shot tropes, yeah.
Like that.
Anime was a steak. Abraham Lincoln, probably. That's definitely what he said. That's what he was saying in the theater. That's why he got shot. No.
Was John Wilkes Booth a weeb?
John Wilkes Booth was a power ranker. Was one of those Power Raider Reddit people. But anyway, see you, Yellow Ring. Have a good one. Harems, panty shots. Yeah, absolutely. Also, Chevs too. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that.
Comical perv is probably my least.
Do I have follower only mode on? Oh, I do, don't I? Do I?
Follower only?
No, I don't.
I don't know.
Pretty sure I don't.
What does that do?
Okay. I did have it on, which means the only followers can talk. Okay. Sorry, I forgot that I put that on there a while ago. But anyway,
It happened.
Yeah, I should probably not do that. Yay, followers only. Yeah. Sorry about that. I tried to recommend Host Club, but always forgot about Hikaru and Kaoru. Yeah, there's a lot of yikes stuff going on there. Worse, John Wilkes Booth was a Marylander, a terrible sin that cannot be forgiven. That's true. Yeah. Maryland is a crime against nature.
It's true.
The old man perv. Oh God.
Yeah,
that's like a really consistent thing. It's just like, oh yeah, Grandpa loves talking about fucking 16-year-olds' panties for some reason.
The Grandpa's getting handsy with the lead girl, and it's really awkward.
There's some really, really weird. I don't know. Panty shots, I think, is one of the most ubiquitous ones that I think should really go, because like they're so unnecessary sometimes. Like the first episode of Summertime Render, I really love Summertime Render. But it sets a bad impression for itself because the first episode has a character tripping on their bike and flying over the handles into some water, but like there's a slow motion shot of her panties, and it's just like, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that, and the rest of this would be great, you know?
I do wonder how much of that is just like a holdover of like, hey, I'm writing this manga and I really want people to pick it up from the shelf after reading like the first few pages. I genuinely do wonder how much of that.
It's gotta be. It's definitely something that's gonna be like eye catching. Like how much more like lewd stuff are they gonna get into? I'm gonna read more into this. Oh, they actually have an actual real story. Now I'm focused on the story.
They use it as like the intro of a Mr. Beast video. Yeah. Like they use it as like the YouTube hook. Like where here in the US we go like, I bet that one of my friends who takes his hand off the car gets to keep it, except it's like panty shots.
Yeah. So overly bouncy and excessive boobs. Even when the story is really good, if fan service is cranked up to 11, some of my friends get turned off. I feel like I got desensitized to it. That is also the worst part, is when you get desensitized to the anime tropes, and then you introduce it to someone who's not, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry. Don't judge me. Do not judge me.
You kind of forget that it happens. You go and you show your friend. Yeah, no, I get that. Believe me, I do.
This is actually one of the things I actually really agree with. Not just isekai with game mechanics. I hate that so much.
Yes, I hate it. I hate it so much. That's my least favorite.
It's so annoying. Like, just have an interesting story. One of the worst offenders for this, Rising the Shield Hero, has many sins. One of my least favorite ones is the game mechanics, because they're so unnecessary. Like, what are you doing?
Like I don't know. I don't know. They're like explaining the world, but in a way that makes the world not real. I don't know. It's weird.
Narnia didn't fucking need game mechanics, and it's applauded by everyone. Yeah, like Frieren doesn't need it. You know, a lot of the like.
Oh my God.
What?
Narnia is an isekai?
Narnia is an isekai. Yeah.
What? Why did I never put this together?
The Chronicles of Narnia, the first isekai.
What? I just didn't think about it. Alice in Wonderland 2. Oh my God.
I want to try cosplaying. I'm so tempted to be an isekai truck. Isekai, the other cosplayers and photos. That would be hilarious. That's actually a really good. That's a really.
You would get many photos, I'm sure.
There is a manga, and there's a manga that's out that's about the isekai truck.
There's also a VTuber.
There is.
I have only briefly seen like one or two things about someone whose VTuber is a. It's just the isekai truck.
That's great. That's great. I love that. Yeah. But yeah, no, that is one of the problems, because we were looking at the my anime list for this season. That is one of the biggest problems with isekai, is that they just all are the same for a lot of the cases. Like you look at the premise, and you're like, oh, I know exactly how this is gonna go. You know.
Yeah. You want to know actually my absolute favorite. Like, when they do isekai stuff... Okay, let me tell you my least favorite, and let me tell you my favorite.
Yeah.
It is very unoriginal.
It's bored
Isekai
apes.
can be cool. Okay, when you ever like watch a thing or read a manga or something, and it's like an isekai, and you kind of realize that this dude could have just been in this world, and the entire plot wouldn't have
Yes,
changed.
yes.
Like the fact that he was not from, or like he's from another world, like changed absolutely nothing.
Exactly,
Like maybe he
yeah.
makes a reference to Japanese food, and the audience gets it, and like that's the most that happens.
There was an anime last year, or maybe it was the year before. I'm pretty sure it was last year. There was like last year there was like 3 different anime that are about a pharmacist in another who's isekai to another world. And I was watching one of them, and like this dude is like he has a pharmacy in another world, but like they're already at like the show opens. He already has the pharmacy. It's established. He has his friends there. He's lived in this world for quite a long time, but he used to be a Japanese salaryman. And it's like, what's the point of any of this? I don't have any context. You don't see him coming into another world, experiencing something new, being thrust into an adventure. This is just, he could have just been a dude from a different country. Like, you would have had the same kind of like fish out of water story. He moved to another place. Wow, it's different.
That is just like a really cheap way to like justify exposition about the world. And like it could be so much more. I've seen some actually some of my favorite. I guess this isn't that much of a spoiler, really. There's a show that I talk about quite often that I even read the manga for. What is it? Trapped in a Dating Sim,
which I also did a video on.
Yes. That is probably my favorite isekai.
Yeah.
Like ever.
I actually really like it, even though it does use game mechanics.
It does.
I talks about that because it talks about it in a negative. It talks about it in like a criticizing kind of way.
Yeah,
where it tries to use it as like it tries to use it as like a basis for a lot of its humor.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like they also play with, like they almost like kind of make it more like a detriment that he knows, because he tries to like game it, and it usually just falls flat because in the context of everything is still real.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about Trapped in a Dating Sim.
The world is tough. The world's tough for mob. It has a really long title.
They were just Trapped in a Dating Sim's fine. That's enough.
Okay. That's probably.
Yeah, and Trapped in a Dating Sim is about a guy who like has to 100% a dating sim that he does not like because his sister made him. And then once he finishes it, he dies. He trips down some stairs and dies. Yeah. And then he wakes up into the world, and he's like horrified about it because he hates this place. He hates the game.
It's he's such a fun character.
Yeah.
To just hate, I don't know.
He's just like, I want to go home. I hate this place. I hate all of you. You're so generic, and I don't like it.
It's very, very good.
It's funny,
and it turns the overpowered thing on its head a little bit, because it actively works in his detriment very often, and it also goes into his past fucking life and how much that is still like affected. It does things that I wish isekai did.
Mm-hmm.
It actually like makes a point to it being an isekai and not just the world as it was.
No, exactly. There is like a very strong like there's like a through line for why him being in this world leads to interesting character moments and discovery of other things happening in the world. Like it's very I don't know. Isekai doesn't do anything interesting with the characters of the world, and that's my issue. Yeah, it doesn't. Like, and that's why that's why Trapped in a Dating Sim is fun. Is it does do those kind of things, and also is funny while doing it. You know, I think a similar anime actually. Yosh, if you haven't seen this, you should watch this. Is Eminence in Shadow, which is kind of a similar thing, except the dude just wants to be really edgy and silly, and he knows that he's being silly when he's being edgy. But like,
oh yeah, you told me that
other people in the world thinks he's really edgy and cool when he thinks he's being kind of lame at times, or like over dramatic. But like he wants to live his fantasy. It's really interesting.
Yeah,
just like a simple thing like that. Just making it so like they have like some kind of self-awareness and some kind of like humor into it can change so much.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You is it Reborn as a Villainess? think that's a show. That one reminds me a lot of Trapped as a Dating Sim too.
There's a lot of those. There's quite a few villainous ones. Yeah.
It also has like the character's past life actually having a meaning in the. I don't know. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I need more of that, please.
I would like more of that. Yeah. Samey world, samey characters. Yeah, it's. This is also the problem. Is like what I mentioned earlier. There's the villainous anime, right? But there's like 3 villainous animes like that have like the similar premise, where someone played a visual novel or read a book and like gets reincarnated as the villainous in that of that book or game, or like pharmacist in another world, stuff like that. There's just like so many things that like you get one of those ideas, and then like in the same season or the next season you'll get like 2 more that are exactly the same. And you're like, I didn't need this. I didn't want this.
Also, hi, Nia.
Hi, Nia. Thank you. I'm hydrating. Glug glug water. Yes.
I don't believe in water. I drink exclusively Kool-Aid.
You suck up moisture from the air like some sort of some sort of cactus or something.
It's true. And then I get the Kool-Aid water and I just like pour it down my mouth. And I just like go for a jog.
Have the guy in charge of stopping impending doom in a time limit, and the doom is real and it's coming. No one knows except for the character. That would be interesting. That would be yeah. That would be pretty cool. And like there's a lot of cool anime that do like the die and come back and redo again, kind of trope. The Groundhog Day trope. And those are some really interesting ones. Like Summertime Render is I think it does that really well. Outside of like the first couple episodes being a little pervy, most of the series isn't. And is just like a really good mystery show. But yeah, he's a sponge, exactly.
Are you telling me there's a trope about Bill Murray?
There is, yes. There's a lot. There's a number. It's actually interesting because like the Groundhog Day trope actually started in Japan with the book, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which is also an anime movie now by.
I was about to say that sounded familiar.
Yeah, it's Hosoda made one. The guy who did Wolf Children and Summer Wars. He also made an adaptation of The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. But like that kind of concept, like going back in time and like redoing stuff, that started in Japan, became popular in America through Enjoy Your Lurk, Willoughby Wisps. It became popular in America through Groundhog Day, and then it's just like started like reappearing more and more. So it's interesting.
It's fun.
Enjoy your work, Nia. It's nice to see you. Hi, Nia. Don't drink water, but alcohol. Oh no.
Yay! What if the villain also retains their memories for every reset? Oh, then that's just real life, and that's me. Yes, I know what you did.
There's some good stories like that, and they're trying their best to stop this hero with that knowledge as well. You should really watch Summertime Render. You should really, really watch Summertime Render. Anyway,
you should render on that summertime.
Render the summertime away. Anyway, it's unfortunate that Summertime Render is on Hulu, but there are Summertime Render. It's a really, really good anime. Some places call it Summertime Rendering. I don't know, but it's one of my favorite anime of last year. There's a little bit of like annoying stuff at the start, but like it's like quick panty shots and stuff, but if you're an anime watcher, you'll get past that pretty quick.
You're used to it.
Yeah,
we all know. And you've been through worse.
The rest of the anime is a lot better. But yeah, it's really good. It's overall a really good series. It's a really nice 24 episode like full arc. So check it out. I don't know. We were talking right before I got raided by Choco Jocks. I might not even notice. You might not. That's the thing. That's actually I didn't even notice until I like rewatched it to like review it. I'm like, oh my god, how did I miss this stuff? Yeah. Right before Choco Jacks rated though, I was about to talk about Usagi Drop. And just
where are we Usagi dropping, boys?
Yeah. How a couple of my streamer friends, Digimanda and Tiny Ghost, were telling me on a long car ride about Usagi Drop, which I've never personally seen and I won't see. But like the anime is supposed to be like this really cute sweet like found family type of show, where like these two characters, this one character finds out that he has like a niece, but his niece is like a 9-year-old, and she's orphaned now, and like he needs to take care of her, and like he raises her like as a daughter. Usagi like rabbit, yeah. I'll pull it up. I'll pull up a visual for it. But yeah, it's called Bunny Drop is like the literal translation. There's.
Where are they dropping bunnies?
I don't know. There's a live action apparently.
Your live action.
That's unfortunate. Anyway,
I know.
Yeah, but it's about this it's like this middle-aged dude raising his, adopting his niece and raising her, like his daughter. And then, it's supposed to be pretty sweet, pretty nice, chill anime.
Okay.
And then the anime ends on that note, basically. It's more like a slice of life type show. And then the manga ends with her growing up and becoming like a high schooler. And hey, have a good one. Thank you for stopping by and chatting. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good one.
Goodbye.
So the girl becomes a teenager, and she comes on to her father figure character. Hope you don't mind if I drop by for some anime Rex. Oh, go on by. I stream on Fridays. Come on by. I'm always talking anime. And other things, but anime's always gonna be a
hold
topic.
on. I'm registering what you're saying. What do you mean by comes on to?
So the the daughter character, adopted daughter character, tells the dad that she loves him and that she wants to date him, and he at first is like, no, we can't. That's wrong. We can't do that. And then he says yes, and then they start dating.
What?
They start dating.
What?
They date. He dates his daughter.
How old?
Adopted daughter. See, he is like a full-grown man. She is like 9 years old. He adopts her and raises her, and then when she becomes a teenager, they start dating. His niece / adopted daughter. Yeah. No, technically it's his aunt. Technically they're an aunt, but yeah. Because I think it's his grandpa's child that he had with another woman, that he didn't find out about until after his grandpa died. But yeah, it's his aunt technically. Yes. It's so many levels of fucked up. I can't.
I think I'm gonna Usagi drop dead soon.
Usagi drop out of this conversation.
Yeah, just Usagi drop at it.
So it's legal in Japan. Anyway.
Hooray, legality.
It's just as bad. That's the thing that's also really bad about anime is when the thing I always hate the most is when they try to find technical ways around something that's gross. It's like, oh yeah, this brother and sister are really into each other, but like she's actually his cousin that was adopted, and they don't know that they're actually cousins, but like they are, even though they were raised as siblings. So they're not brother and sister, so it's okay. I see you, Sword Art Online. Literally the plot of the second season of Sword Art Online. Anyway, do you know anime's hell? And I've made horrible career decisions.
My grandpa once told me that war is hell, but I don't think he would have lived through this.
Grandpa could not live through Usagi Drop.
My grandpa lived through Vietnam. I don't think my grandpa could live through anime.
You want to sit your grandpa down and think that they're gonna survive when you put on the pig anime?
No,
your grandpa ain't gonna survive the pig anime.
No, I can't. My grandfather was a Navy SEAL. I don't think I don't think I could survive it.
Star Wars, I'm gonna chalk up to that George Lucas didn't know the twist he was gonna make in the in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. At least there's that.
And he didn't think about it.
Oh, George.
Oh,
George.
Buta Reba, the story of a man who turned into a pig. Connor, would you be a host in Japan? Would I be a host, like a host club host? No. What? Don't ask? What do you mean, don't ask? No.
Wait. Hi, Gobi.
Hi, Gobi. I'm hosting a show, but that's not. I'm not gonna do anyway. Have you seen My Happy Marriage? Not only have I seen My Happy Marriage, I did a video on My Happy Marriage, which flopped horribly. Is what it is. But yes, I have. I love that anime. My family is hooked into it. It's really good. It's really good. It's also one that's not creepy, and you can show people, and they won't think you're a weirdo. I did. I have done a lot of videos. I make videos as much as I can. But yeah, I did one on My Happy Marriage. It's really good. You should watch it, Yosh.
My Happy Marriage.
Same YouTube channel. Or do you separate one for anime? No. All same YouTube channel. I have two YouTube channels. One's for VODs, and one's for all my videos, like all my edited videos. So all my edited videos are on Cold Hearted Complaints. Go check that out. I mean, everything, all the anime reviews, discussions about some movies, vlogs whenever I do them. Those are all on my main channel, so go check it out.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's party time. Oh, are you referring to the time I did a watch party for Trapped in Dating Sim? I still need to do that.
Oh, you did?
I want to do that. Well, I was going to. I need to plan it. I said I would.
You should
because
do that. That sounds like fun.
I like that anime so much, and I reference it often enough that I was just like, I'm going to just you all have to watch it so you get what I'm talking about now.
Oh God, thank you. I gotta write a signed thank you letter to Choco Jacks for the raid. I really do appreciate that. That's crazy. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the videos. I'm really proud of the ones that I put out there. I got a couple more planned this month that I'm really excited to do. I'm gonna get started on those tomorrow. I'm gonna get started on one of them tomorrow, actually. But the next one's gonna be on Frieren, which is one of my animes, my anime of the season at least.
Oh yeah, I still haven't seen that.
You should watch it. It's one of the best fantasy shows I've seen in a very long time.
I think I read the first chapter of the manga where they planted flowers, and I was like, this is they're really nice.
That's the first chapter of the manga. Damn.
Yeah.
It's not the first chapter of the show, but yeah, it's really good.
I got really into manga a lot. I started really enjoying it ever since Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man as a manga feels like a little bit of a different experience than watching it, and I think it's worth reading. I
have heard that's a very different experience. I know a lot of people really recommend the manga over the actual.
It's legitimately probably my favorite manga. Although I did finish reading Dungeon Meshi, and I love that one with all my heart.
I can't wait for the anime to come out for that. That looks really fun.
I finished reading it, and then they were like, "Yeah, there's an anime too," and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Do you want to tell everyone what Dungeon Meshi is going to be about?
Yeah. Hey, have you guys ever wanted to eat like weird RPG monsters? I have. Walking mushrooms and shit? Yeah, fry that up. That's what that show's about. But also very fantastic character writing and wonderful characters, and it's a very well thought out. I really like it. It's the kind of thing you just need to see.
Yeah.
It's coming out.
It's gonna be on Netflix, so it's gonna be next year, early next year. So I'm excited for it.
Exactly. Campfire cooking in a dungeon.
Yeah. Campfire cooking the monsters in the dungeon.
It's very much like fantasy world, but like think more like your Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings type fantasy worlds with like gnomes and elves and dwarves and like different kinds. There's a lot of consideration put into like the different types of races and species and how they would react and do stuff like that. It's a very I don't know how to describe it. It's a good world. It's a very good world.
I'm really excited I'm really excited to watch it. The anime is done by Trigger, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks great. There's like actually let's do a little quick. This will be the last thing we do before we head out for today. But let's watch the trailer real quick.
Yeah.
Meshy.
Also, the main character is one of my favorites.
So when I'm a spider series, but she ate them raw, it would be nice to see more cooking.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, let's not raw the monsters.
I love him. Look at him in his armor.
I like the art style.
It's very unique. Cool. And I like it a lot.
Very Trigger. I haven't seen Trigger do a fantasy series. Look at that. They love their food.
Yeah. The characters. I love all of them. I fully believe it's going to be like one of those all-time classics.
I think people are going to really vibe with this anime. I'm excited to see it. Immediately like, yeah! And like, it looks really fucking good. Anyway, I'm not going to watch the whole trailer here because that stuff gets flagged whenever I put it on for my VOD channel. But, yeah, that anime is going to be really exciting. It's coming out, when does it come out? January. It's coming out in January, so next month.
Yeah, very soon.
Very, very soon.
Very, very soon.
All right, Yosh, we're gonna wrap up here. So, do you wanna shout yourself out to tell people about yourself?
I'm Yosh. I am a variety streamer over on twitch.tv/Yosh. Be nice.
Yeah. Thank you, Yosh, for joining me today. My name is Connor.
Yeah.
Again, this is Cold Hearted Chats, my weekly shows that I do on 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with rotating guests of friends and fellow creators. We talk about anime, movies, and other related things here.
I like
always love having
Jones.
people come in. Always good for me to. It's a way to talk about like all the things that I see that I'm not going to make videos of, and like have interesting conversations about life and creation with friends who do other things. Next week is going to be a really exciting episode. I've got Kara Cheratomo on. She is a game designer, like a game dev. Really amazing writer too. She's going to be on next stream, and we're going to have some really in-depth conversations about anime, but also writing, and probably a lot of trash TV talk in that one. So that's going to be really exciting.
She's also really cool.
She's really cool. She's awesome. But until then, though, I want you all to go check out my socials, my Discord, and my newest video. If you want to keep up on stuff with me. Again, the main thing is if you want to check out my videos, you know, if you like hearing me talk about things, check out my videos. I do a lot of videos, and I think they're pretty neat. But today, we are going to end by rating the one, the only, Yumasuki.
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 All right. So we're going to rate Yume.
Also,
yeah.
Go watch Godzilla -1.
Go watch Godzilla -1. Go watch Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Raid message is going to be this one? Cold Raid. There we go. I'm sorry my phone died. Hi, Ghosty.
I wondered where you went. You just asked a question and dipped.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
that was
Gobi.
very mysterious.
But that's gonna be the thing is Cold Raid. If you don't have a subscription, then the bouncy ones won't go, but like the cheer ones free, so you can use that. Anyway, so Cold Raid. We're gonna go say hi to Yim Yam. I'll see y'all next Friday if you come on by. Be sure to check out my videos. Check out Yosh, and go support Yume playing Dark Messiah. So, yeah. All right. Have a great day or great night or whatever it is you're having, and stay rad. I'll see you later, and goodbye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Is my Dark Messiah.
Wow. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you. Fuck off. Bye.
Bye.
And throwing it off to the side casually. Like, just doing this. Oh.
I like
that.
That was great.
Doing that.
I gotta thank Choco Jacks. That was a great fucking raid. Damn.
Hello, Connor. Hello,
Man.
I don't think-
Sleepy. Welcome.